Both of Presley Gerber's parents are role models. Randy Gerber, his model dad, has become a tequila millionaire. Two of the most famous supermodels of all time are his mom and dad. Just like their oldest son. Gerber was always ready to become popular like his parents did. Crawford's well-known Pepsi ad from 1992 was changed so that he could be in it in 2018. He walked the runway for the high-end fashion brand Moschino for the first time in 2016 when he was only 16 years old. He looks like his mom a lot. Since then, he has worked as a model for Calvin Klein, Tommy Hilfiger, and Dolce & Gabbana, all of which are very popular jobs. He was in a Celine ad not long ago. Gerber has had a hard time even though he is beautiful and popular at a young age. His messy social media use and the tabloids have written a lot about his life outside of fashion. More attention has been paid to him as he grows up, just like it was paid to his younger sister, Gerber. When she was young, Presley Gerber was a model. Her life was full of fame, wealth, and well-known tragedies. When you ring in the new year with family and friends, it's usually a happy time. But for Presley Gerber, 2019 got off to a bad start. At the time, Gerber was 19 years old. Sources tell TMZ that a Beverly Hills police officer saw him speeding in his Tesla early in the morning. The cops gave him a field sobriety test because they could smell alcohol on him when they pulled him over for careless driving. He failed, was charged with DUI, and was let go without bail. The young model would have to pay a fine and lose her license for a year because of how serious the charge was. In a statement, his agent said that Presley Gerber takes these claims very seriously and is doing what needs to be done to deal with them. He also said that his young client had never been in trouble with the police before. In July of that year, Gerber chose not to plead guilty to the lesser charge of driving with a 0.08% blood alcohol level. He had to follow the rules for 3 years. The model got a DUI and had to do work around the neighborhood for 2 days. Page 6 saw his girlfriend Cameron Rosen drop him off at a drug testing center in 2020 so that he could finish being in DUI school. When Presley Gerber first started working as a model, he didn't have many tattoos and his mother gave him a lot of good looks. By 2020, the young model had bright tattoos on his arms, chest, and neck. A lot of people think it's weird for models to have big tattoos, but this guy had one that shocked everyone and made his parents very upset. The 19-year-old man got a tattoo on his right face that said "misunderstood" in 2020. A lot of his friends didn't like it and told him on Instagram that they were afraid it would ruin his life and job. On Instagram Live, Gerber finally talked about the mean comments. If I didn't want to do it or thought it would hurt my face, I wouldn't have done it. I think that's pretty clear. Okay, let's get past what he said. After some time, he told her the truth about the tattoo. I've always felt misunderstood, which is why it says that. A lot of mean comments were made, and Gerber took a lot of time to answer them. He said he wasn't high, and he even said that his mom, Cindy Crawford, liked the tattoo. Her mom supports it and thinks it's good. He said, I don't know ... It's my street. It's my face. People says that the next year, Gerber got rid of the tattoo, even though he told anyone who didn't like it to tell him in person. A lot of people heard about Presley Gerber in 2020, but not because of what he did for a living. On social media, everyone only talked about his do-it-yourself projects, tattoos, and other strange things he did. He grew up in a famous family, so he was used to hearing about news. He was the only one in his family who had ever been in trouble for something. Many people know Randy Gerber as a businessman. Cindy Crawford is the same Cindy Crawford. She has a beautiful baby now. Their name is already well known. The things Presley did that made the news stood out like a sore thumb. Reports say he wasn't doing what was expected of him. We heard from a source once a week that Presley is clearly going through a very restless time right now. He wants to become his own person and find his own way, away from what his family could do to him. A lot of people are interested in his scar and new posts, even though it's not good. Because of how famous his family was, Presley felt like he didn't have a name for himself. According to the person, Presley feels under a lot of pressure because his parents and Kaya are so famous. Kaya is seen as a sweetheart, and Cindy and Randy are well known for everything they do. He wants to be independent and discover his own spot in the world. Being a parent of a kid who acts out is something everyone knows. Cindy Crawford and Randy Gerber, on the other hand, were heartbroken to see their son play tricks on people. Crawford and Randy, her husband, didn't say anything, but they hoped that Presley Gerber's tattoo that said "misunderstood" was just a phase. But Gerber kept acting strangely on social media. Why do all of you know nothing? Innocent little me before all the horrible tattoos, he wrote under a video of himself at a gun range. Daily Mail says that the model was even taken to the hospital after an accident on her mountain bike. Took a mountain bike ride today and then went to the hospital, he wrote next to a picture of himself with cuts on his arms. People who know Gerber's parents say they were worried about the issue but didn't say anything about it in public. I know it's scary for them and hard for them to see. A source told E! News that they know these comments are a call for help or attention. There is a place for Presley now that he is an adult. It's said that Gerber's folks did not like how he was acting. He has done something different from the other times he has gone to rehab. The person said that they want something more serious, and they are keeping a close eye on him to make sure he's not crazy. Presley Gerber gave hints that he and model Lexi Woods were dating more seriously in October 2022. Their relationship became public on Instagram when Gerber said he thought she had asked him to marry her. At that point, they had been seeing each other for less than a year. There were a lot of pictures of the two of them under the model. Guys, one of the pictures I took of them kissing on the beach. One showed them using their hands to make the heart shape. The last one showed Gerber grabbing her behind. Fans were quickly interested in the sneaky wedding message when Woods shared the post again on her Instagram stories, this time with a heart, an infinity sign, and a lock and key dot. In the comments, they asked Gerber if the two were married. Many people were happy for them, but less than a month later, they broke up without warning. News site E! Says they broke up in December and took down all of their Instagram posts at the same time. Their friends and family said they didn't see a future together, which made the breakup even stranger. Someone who knows them said that they knew right away that it wasn't going to last. Woods was seen with Gerber a week before they broke up, but a friend of hers said she was ready to move on and focus on herself, her modeling, her podcast, and her relationships. When Presley Gerber was older and smarter, he did a rare interview on the Studio 22 show. In it, he was very honest about his mistakes and mental health issues. I've had problems with mental health, sadness, and other things that come with it. Because of that, I think that if I can help just one person get out of the same place I was in, that's all I need to do, he said. Even though some people didn't like what Gerber did in the past, he believes that it gave him lessons that he could share with others. I've learned a lot and seen a lot, he said. I hope that by making mistakes, I can save other people from having to do the same. She started a project to bring attention to mental health problems and help other people find good ways to deal with them when she wasn't acting. It's called Mental Health Mondays, and he posts about ways to improve your mental health every Monday on Instagram. The model said that he hopes the weekly shows make people want to get help. If they're like me, they'll want to do it the hard way, but I could save them a lot of stress and trouble if they are willing to listen. Both of Presley Gerber's parents did very well as models. To begin, Gerber worked as a model and quickly became well known. He walked for both Balmain and Dolce & Gabbana. When Gerber was only 17, he won the Emerging Model of the Year award. It looks like he'll be the next big thing in the game. Gerber didn't seem very interested in modeling, even after all of these wins. During an Instagram Live in 2020, fans asked the model if he planned to do parades. He said, "I hope not a huge fan, but I do it when I can." In 2023, he talked to the Studio 22 show. He also talked more about what he didn't like about acting and the reason he took a break. Around 2019, I started to slow down. The .BY downtime began to wear me down. He said that the industry's plan was all over the place, which made things very unstable. When you're a model, you might work from January to February and not know when you'll get paid. You don't know when the next job will come up, he said. He then said that he and his friends thought acting was a good way to start doing things they were interested in. He was going to use his unearned income to start his own business. He told me he was going to get his real estate license, which could mean a new job. People paid too much attention to Presley Gerber for a few years. It hurts her to know that people dislike her. Before he got the misunderstood face tattoo, Gerber would often go on Instagram Live to talk to his haters directly. He would even tell them to come talk to him in person. In 2023, Gerber was an adult and thought about the mean things people said about him on the internet. This time, he talked about how it made him feel mentally. In the second part of his Mental Health Monday series, Gerber told his Instagram followers how to deal with the chaos of social media. It was just one comment that made my day, but Gerber said, "I've learned how to not let that energy from those ... keyboard warriors affect me anymore. You need to be able to block that energy so you can't get it." To make fun of people, Gerber said that he had been hit with mean comments and suggested that they take a break from social media. He told his fans that they could take a break from social media whenever they felt like it. He also told his fans to start living better lives and to talk to their friends if the hate on social media ever gets too much for them. Like everyone else, I have a lot more to learn.